Hello, my name is Mark Johnson, and I'm going to take you on a tour of behind the scenes of the making of the Chris Saub End of a Perfect Day music video.
Call it a love, call it a need, call it anything that you want it to be. Call it a once, call it again, call it from the back streets of my head. Emotional lullaby when you say goodbye.
Well, to get things started, the day we shot this video for Chris Saub's End of a Perfect Day was 102 degrees out. So we got started early on, I believe it was a Sunday morning, about 8 o'clock, and we finished the first segment by noon, and by that time it was getting pretty hot. So we did take a break and resumed filming at the Jackson Street Tavern at 7 p.m. I will take you through the process of how we made the video and actually behind the scenes things that happened, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching. 1. This next segment was kind of funny. We did shoot it 2 or 3 times, but the scene called for making coffee in a coffee pot. Well, if you look closely, someone, we won't say who he is, but forgot to put the lid on the coffee maker pot. So as the coffee was brewing, it was actually spilling out the back and it left a big mess. So if you watch closely in the video, you'll see that there's no lid on the coffee pot. So we had a mess after we shot this scene.
No, I used to be the...
This is the first time I've used the Canon 5D Mark II. I've owned the 5D in the past, and it was only a still camera. This new Mark II and also the Mark III uses 1080 high-def video. So I'm going to be starting to do more music videos. We do have one planned for Chris. It's going to be called The Finest Thing. Hopefully we'll be shooting spring 2013. But back to the video we shot in the summer of July 2012. End of a Perfect Day was a learning experience for us all. We did finish editing in Christmas time 2012, and we did release it to the public on YouTube January 2013. So if you have any questions about anything that happens, you can always leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you at mjphoto45@yahoo.com is my email, and hopefully you learn from this. So, my alarm. Rolling. The locations we used for End of a Perfect Day were numerous. We started out in front of the Dundee Theater, approximately around 50th and Dodge area. We then moved down to Rick's Waterfront Grill area, did some shooting there. We also used Jackson Street Tavern, and most of the scenes were shot at the Overland Sheepskin Company. They were gracious enough to let us go in there for about a half hour and do some different scenes. And we finished, actually, we did some takes at the Locomotive, which is a food truck that's here usually on the weekends, late night. And I'm going to try to show you some of those outtakes that we didn't use for the music video. But hope you enjoy this. Thanks for watching.
Okay, we're going to share a Chipotle egg sandwich, and we're going to get a traditional...
The actual time spent shooting segments for End of a Perfect Day was probably about 6 hours with the drive time to and from locations. The editing is another story. The music video is 9 minutes in length, and it took, I would imagine, around 19 hours of editing to get it perfectly. With meetings with Chris, our producer Johnny O, myself, we dissected it and tried to make it as best we can on a $200 budget. So I hope you enjoy watching the video, End of a Perfect Day. The lip sync was the most difficult. We did run an audio track with it so Chris could lip sync during the making of the video, and at times during rendering the lips weren't as perfect as we'd like with the sync, but I think for the $200 budget we did a pretty good job, and it conveys Chris's message of love and all that goes with it with the song End of a Perfect Day. 2, 1.
Call it love, call it a need, call it anything that you want to be. Call it a rise, call it again, call it from the back streets of my head. Emotional lullaby, losing the bad. So we spent an hour playing songs about one man. Well, I forgot the word. It whispered down, whispered down. Never forget.
If you notice during End of a Perfect Day music video that the sharpness of some of the scenes weren't as perfect as I'd like, that was because I was using a short depth of field. I set my camera at 2.8 focal length, and if I wasn't within probably 3 feet of my subjects, 3 to 4 feet, everything else would go out of focus. So a learning experience for sure. The reason this was is I was hand holding the camera as I was shooting. It'd be nice to leave it on a tripod and then do the filming from there, but some circumstances wouldn't allow that, especially the scene down by the riverfront where I jumped over the fence and was on like a 1-foot ledge filming in front of Chris and Brandy. That's why the focus was a little bit off, because I was moving at the same time. The next video I will probably allow for a greater depth of field to keep more of the objects in focus. Well, my name is Mark Johnson. I was the director for this project, End of a Perfect Day music video featuring Chris Saub, and it really was an endeavor for us all. But I took it on as a personal challenge to not only help Chris, but further my career in movie making, music production, and anything else that might come about through this YouTube venue. So hope you had a good time. I did enjoy doing it. It is a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. Be prepared and expect the unexpected.
Call it a love, call it a need, call it anything that you want it to be. Call it a rise, call it again, call it from the back streets of my head. Emotional lullaby when you said goodbye. You said we spent an hour